The NBA is full of players that have taken big step forwards this season. And so today I want to talk about the player on each team in the NBA that has taken the biggest step forward in this 2021-22 NBA season. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below if you think someone else more deserving of that spot for their respective team, as there are a lot of teams with multiple players that have taken massive step forwards and have been extremely impactful to their respective rosters. That being said, let's get started in the Eastern Conference with the Toronto Raptors. For the Toronto Raptors, we have Gary Trent Jr. Gary Trent Jr. has taken a big step forward on both ends of the floor this year, being more than just a three-point shooter on the offensive end, developing a bit more of a mid-range game, and being able to finish at the rim with more efficiency and more of an aggression. He's also taken leaps and bounds forward on the defensive end from a guy who was a fine on-ball defender before to now is one of the top steals and deflections guys in the league. And although he is a little bit overhyped on the defensive end because of those stats now, has taken massive strides forward on the defensive end. For the Philadelphia 76ers, we have Tyrese Maxey, who has taken a big step forward in the second year in his NBA career. I projected that he was going to have to and would take a big step forward this year with Ben Simmons being out of the lineup. He has done exactly that and has been absolutely brilliant this year. Good floater game, not an amazing three-point shooter, but an improving one. Can finish ball at the rim, can be a fine playmaker, and has been extremely important to the 76ers' success this season. Patty Mills of the Brooklyn Nets has played an extremely important role for them this year, with Kyrie Irving being out up until now, a bit more recently, where he is expected to be back sometime this week. He has been putting up career numbers, shooting well, creating well, finishing well, you name it. Patty Mills is probably the oldest guy on this list and in this video, but has played extremely well and in a crucial role for this Brooklyn Nets roster. Obi Toppin of the New York Knicks didn't really get much playing time in year one as a rookie, as Tom Thibodeau does not usually trust rookies with heavy minutes. But he's been very good this year, has still been arguably deserving many more minutes, but brings good energy, good rebounding, can finish at the rim, can score a little bit for you, can space a little bit. He's been very good, and honestly, I think he deserves more playing time and more recognition with the New York Knicks than he's been getting this season. Grant Williams of the Boston Celtics has proven me wrong this year. I've never been too high on him. I thought he's just been someone that the Celtics have had to play a lot of minutes due to a lack of depth, not due to him having actual quality at a high level in the NBA, but he's been brilliant this year, really improved his three-point shooting and his spacing ability, extremely efficient and effective from deep, still a fine wing defender, can give you a bit of size, a bit of rebounding, and has been very good for Boston on a team that has been a little bit disappointing again so far this season. In the Milwaukee Bucks, Bobby Portis has been very good this year. It's going to make for an interesting decision, as I talked about a few days ago, between what happens when Brook Lopez comes back, who starts. Does Brook Lopez maintain an important part of the rotation or remain part of the Milwaukee Bucks long-term with him still having 2 years left on his contract? Bobby Portis has been brilliant. Fine rebounder, active, not an amazing rim protector, but an okay one, can score well, can space, still an extremely good and efficient three-point shooter, and fits in well with this Milwaukee Bucks team. Max Strus is one of multiple depth players that have really stepped up for the Miami Heat this year, but he has been arguably the best. Very good three-point shooter, decent length on the defensive end, can give you a little bit there. Fine rebounder, a little bit of playmaking, can finish at the rim, has had some extremely good games as of late, specifically from the three-point line, catch and shoot, a little bit of a two-man game. He can get some balls off some screens, pick and rolls. Really good shooter, and has been extremely good to this Miami Heat team. For the Atlanta Hawks, I struggled to pick someone in particular. I don't see anyone on this roster that has really improved significantly from last season. As a whole, they have been relatively disappointing this year as a team. I will with Cam Reddish, although I know he has had some not great moments this year. He has shown a lot of upside, a lot of potential early on in the year. He had some good games. He's had a nice stretch as of late where he's played very well in the starting lineup. I still don't love the lack of consistency we're seeing from Reddish, but I think he is at least showing flashes now of an offensive consistency and an offensive skill set while being a good defensive wing. And I think that's the most improved player that the Atlanta Hawks have right now. For the Atlanta Magic, Cole Anthony's the easy pick for me here. This is a young team with some improving pieces, but Cole Anthony's been very good. The leader of this group, while John Isaac, Markelle Fultz are still out with injury. Near a 20-point per game scorer, if I'm not mistaken. Good three-point shooter. Better playmaker than I thought he was going to be at the NBA level after what I saw last year, and a lot more increased efficiency, which is a brilliant thing to see. He's been crucial to Orlando being anywhere near as competitive as they have been this season. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, you can pick pretty much a whole host of names if you want it, but Darius Garland's the guy for me. Jared Allen deserves a great shout as well, but Darius Garland's been brilliant this year. All-star caliber player. Probably won't get the nod just simply due to the fact there's so many good guards in the Eastern Conference right now. But all-star caliber, very good playmaker, underrated playmaker even still, I think. One of the best playmaking point guards in the league, can score, can finish well at the rim, good floater game. Extremely good connection and chemistry with the bigs there in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and he's been absolutely essential to what this Cavaliers team is doing and is going to continue to be with Rubio and Sexton out of the lineup. For the Detroit Pistons, I struggle to find anyone to call most improved. I picked Saddiq Bey just because he started to show flashes now over the last couple of weeks, and if we can continue to see that, then he is deserving of most improved for this group, but he did start off the season very poor. But I haven't really seen anything from any of the other young guys on this team that show improvements to me when you're talking about Killian Hayes, who hasn't really taken a step forward. Stewart hasn't really taken a step forward. Cade Cunningham's his first year in the league, so I can't call him an improved player. So Saddiq Bey it is. For the Charlotte Hornets, Miles Bridges is the easy pick for me. He's going to be someone who's in the running for most improved player in the league. He has tailed off a lot since the start of the season, but he's still been very good. This was expected, personally. He was very good last year in the starting lineup. He showed that he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands or doesn't demand the ball on the offensive end, but can still put up 18, 20 points a night. He can get some offensive rebounds, get the ball in the run of the offense, can catch and shoot on some threes, can attack the rim very well in the fast break, and is a very solid wing defender as well. And he's been very important to the Charlotte Hornets' success this season. For the Washington Wizards, again, this is a team that doesn't have anyone that all around the board has taken a massive leap for me personally. But Deni Avdija has gone from being someone that looked like it was going to be an offensive talent when he was drafted to now still struggling a bit more on the offensive end than you would like, but it's turned into a lockdown wing defender. His defensive presence is very important and very crucial to this Wizards team, and is arguably one of the better wing defenders in the Eastern Conference right now. For the Indiana Pacers, I have no one. I genuinely didn't feel comfortable putting anyone here. The Pacers just haven't been good. I don't really feel that anyone on this team has significantly improved. If you want to make a shout here, then I guess probably Keelan Martin. But even then, I don't really have anything for the Pacers. The Pacers need to change some things, move some pieces, and try again. For the Bulls, for the last team in the Eastern Conference, we have DeMar DeRozan. I don't really think he's improved his skill set more so than he's just been allowed to use it. I think some of the scoring opportunities that he's now having in Chicago, he was just being restricted a bit by the system in San Antonio, but his playmaking has really improved over the last few years. His three-point shooting has been very good this year. Statistically, he has improved. I don't think his skill set that he actually has improved that much, but what he is actually doing on the basketball court is better than what he has been doing in the past. He's been allowed to showcase that skill set, and he has been an MVP caliber type player this season. The Golden State Warriors have a bunch of veterans, sure, but they are also being helped on their bench by some young pieces that are improving, and Gary Payton is one of those young pieces, someone who has kind of bounced around the NBA and basketball world for a lot of time, but he's now found a role in Golden State, has played extremely well in different roles, different positions, good energy, good rebounding, bit of playmaking, a good team player, good hardworking player, and has been extremely good to this Golden State Warriors bench. For the Phoenix Suns, Cameron Johnson has been very good for them this year off the bench. He's had extremely long stretches of 10-plus games off the bench for them as of late. Consistent scorer, can attack the rim a little bit, very good floor spacer, a solid wing defender as well, and is exactly what you want in a bench wing in the modern NBA. For the Utah Jazz, they have been led by Donovan Mitchell for a long time. They continue to be led by him again this year. They've had players on the team take steps back, but Donovan Mitchell has taken a step forward, continues to be the guy that leads the way for them, and has been crucial to their recent success. Jalen Brunson is my pick for the Dallas Mavericks. Takes another step forward this year. He continues to progress year in, year out. He is going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. So whether he remains in Dallas long-term remains to be seen. But for the time being, while they don't have another playmaker on the roster alongside Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson is that man. He's been crucial to their offense from a playmaking and scoring standpoint, while Luka Doncic has been out multiple times this year due to injury and health and safety protocol. Not a point guard that relies on a three-point shot, but can attack the rim and is a much more willing passer and better playmaker this year than he has been in previous years, which has been a big step forward for him and much more beneficial to the Dallas Mavericks offense. The Memphis Grizzlies are full of picks here. You could go with Desmond Bane or John Morant. I'm personally going with Desmond Bane, but make the argument down below in the comment section for either, and I would not disagree. Desmond Bane, from year 1 to year 2, has really improved, gotten a lot better at creating his own offense off the dribble from 3, from mid-range, attacking the rim a little bit, much more than just a catch-and-shoot 3 guy, as he's been inserted into the starting lineup this year. I can't speak enough for how good Desmond Bane has been. He's been absolutely brilliant. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on him, be sure to check out my Memphis Grizzlies video from a few weeks ago. But a great second season for Desmond Bane so far. For the Denver Nuggets, on a team that has very much been carried by Nikola Jokic so far this season, Will Barton has been a player that has taken a bit of a step forward. He's had to have more of a role with Michael Porter Jr. out, with Jamal Murray out, and he's been good. His offense has taken a step forward. His defense has taken a big step forward as well, as he has improved a lot on that end. And all in all, he's just a much better two-way player than he has been in previous years, and he stayed healthy, which is a big bonus for him as well. Cyrus Halliburton has got to be my man for the Sacramento Kings. He did start slow, and there were some concerns that maybe he wasn't taking some of the steps forward that some people had hoped for and expected from him this season. But over the last few weeks, he has been brilliant. One of the best playmaking guards in the league. The assist numbers don't necessarily show it, but the usage percentage for him is extremely low for the quality output he is bringing. He needs to get more touches. He needs to get more reps. He needs to be more of the true point guard in Sacramento, because he is the guy for them moving forward. He is their best point guard of the future, and he is showing that this year. For the New Orleans Pelicans, there's not really anyone that jumps out at me here as an amazing pick for this. I was really banking on this being Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the start of the year, but he unfortunately has not really produced to that level. So I'm going to go with Jonas Valanciunas, who's really taken a nice step forward in his ability to shoot threes and space the floor. Was leading the league in three-point percentage early on in the year, and even still has been very good, shooting more attempts from 3, making more from 3, and just overall being a better floor spacer for this Pelicans group, which will be nice if and when Zion ever comes back. Moving along from the Pelicans, we get to the Trailblazers, where again, they are a team that is tough to pick a guy. I would probably go with Anthony Simons. He has always been a good scorer, but he's gotten more opportunity this year, and he's really taken advantage of it. He's just coming off of a big performance against the Atlanta Hawks a few nights ago, as of the time of recording this. He's been very good. Defensively, he's still not great. He's one of the worst defenders in the league, but offensively, he can score a bucket. There's no doubt about that. For the Los Angeles Clippers, this is again another team that doesn't really have anyone that really jumps out, but if I got to go with anyone, then it's probably Luke Kennard. Just based on the fact that he was struggling to even get minutes sometimes last year, even though he just got an extension, was just traded there. But he was getting some coaches' decisions, DNPs, and this year he's been extremely crucial to their offense, especially when Paul George has been out. For the LA Lakers, I got no one. Yeah, they're an old team. No one's really improving. Their best player is LeBron, and he's not improving. So, yeah, moving along to the San Antonio Spurs. It's got to be DeJounte Murray. He's been that guy that has stepped up for the San Antonio Spurs this season. It was always going to be a question of, after DeMar goes, Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, Patty Mills, who was going to step up and be that guy for the Spurs? Well, it's DeJounte Murray. He's been brilliant. Playmaking, very smooth mid-range jumper, can attack the rim, still a very solid defender for the guard spot. He's been everything and more that the Spurs could have ever wanted in him, and is the key piece to the Spurs moving forward. Lou Dort has taken steps forward this year on the offensive end, although at times can be inconsistent and extremely inefficient. Especially early on in the year, he looked very good and much more polished on the offensive end, more than just a three-point shot, attacking the rim a bit more, finishing at the rim more, having a bit of a mid-range game, some pull-ups. They're still a little bit inconsistent. They're still not as efficient as you would like it, but he continues to put in the work and continues to improve year in and year out. For the Houston Rockets, I'm going with Garrison Matthews, which might not exactly be the popular pick or the pick that most people would expect, but Garrison Matthews has gone from someone that was out of the league at the start of the year to picked up by Houston to now being a pretty darn important part of their rotation. A very good three-point shooter, as he's always been, but he's really improved in terms of his energy, his defensive output, and his defensive intensity, something that was a little bit more lacking in the past with the Wizards, but has now become an important part of his game here in Houston. And last but not least, for the Minnesota Timberwolves, you can mention a number of guys here. I'm personally going to go with Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt has always been a rotational part of this team, but I feel like this year he's just been that much more important. What he does defensively and on the glass is crucial to this group. Patrick Beverley has also been a crucial impact to that, but from an internal improvement standpoint on this roster, I think Jared Vanderbilt is that guy for me. You can make an argument for Anthony Edwards, who continues to be better this year offensively, or D'Angelo Russell, who's taken massive steps forwards on the defensive end and has really been the anchor at the front point in terms of their perimeter defense for this group. But personally, I'm going with Jared Vanderbilt, but let me know down in the comment section below who you guys would take for the Minnesota Timberwolves. That being said, that is all of my most improved players for each individual team in the NBA. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you guys would have chose anyone different for any respective team. It's all just an opinion. You don't have to agree, but we're just here to talk about it, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts down below. That being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are going to be having the flip side of this video, the most disappointing players on each team in the NBA throughout the next couple of days, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.